What is going on, everybody? Jonathan Farrell here with Ladi Sanchez.
Also known as Ladi.
Ladi Sanchez with the Two Mortgage Guys team. It's the Christmas season. Of course, got our Christmas swag on. I like yours a little bit better than mine, but it is what it is. But we got some exciting
Mr. T
stuff.
status.
Got the medallion. But we got some exciting news coming up. You know, we're closing out 2019. It was an awesome year for us. Really picked up production-wise towards the end of the year. Market is still remaining pretty hot. Loan limits are increasing. This next year, 2020, we're seeing a lot of different things that are coming into play. Of course, conventional loans, the loan limit has increased, as well as FHA. So it's going to be a lot more, hopefully a lot more purchases going on.
Or a lot more opportunity.
A lot more opportunity for purchases.
Yeah.
Now we can finally hit those Temecula listings and not have to do some crazy stuff to make it happen. So
Right.
we go up to above 500,000 for the loan. So, but yeah, there's a couple new programs that are coming out. We're pretty excited about. I know we talked a little bit about this, but if you're looking to buy next year and you need some down payment assistance, there's a couple opportunities. There's a couple loans that are out there that we can go ahead and start working up. So
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, just plainly that you can do down payment assistance even up to 510,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy. I mean, you know, and other places have had it, but never in Riverside. You know, southern part of Riverside County. So you know, Paris, Hammett, San Jacinto, Temecula, Wildomar, you know, Corona, Ontario. You know, all these places that we usually work in. You know, now they have the opportunity of buying a pretty nice house for literally zero down.
Well, let's talk about the Open Door program, because that's kind of the one that's kind of almost taking over Calhafa at this point. The Open Door program does not have an income limit. It allows you to get half of the assistance is a gift, so you don't have to pay that back.
Right.
And then the other half is the silent second that doesn't have an interest rate. So, I mean, that's two different things as far as the Calhafa program, which was a full-blown second, which you had to pay back.
Right.
So, Open Door, we started already seeing a couple people take advantage of that program, where now, you know, they're getting gift, and the interest rate's like really low too. It's low fours.
Right. I remember last year nobody wanted to do down payment assistance because you gave them the options, and the payment for the down payment assistance was a lot higher because of the higher interest rate.
Right.
But that's not the case anymore. Especially even on the teacher program for Calhafa, it's running still in the threes.
Right.
Which is phenomenal, even if it's FHA or conventional. So, so that's exciting. I know it's awesome that we can actually provide still some good value for our loan products.
Right. The other thing too, of course, we have a lot of firefighters in this area, a lot of school teachers. There's a lot of even police officers that are taking advantage of this program. People that were capped by the income limit now are able to buy, and now there is no income restriction. Now they can buy a home, not have to put as much money down. So that's awesome, especially when you take a look at the Temecula Valley area. All these houses we're seeing in Temecula are high fours, low fives, and now you can get into them for little to no money out of your pocket and take advantage of that program all day long.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, also too, the VA I think is exciting.
Yeah.
How should I say this? The VA people, and just any person in general, they don't have a lot of money saved up in the bank. You know, most of the clients that I helped in VA, they had $500 to about $5,000 in the bank, only because they didn't really care about managing their cash flow. You know, because they're buying things for the kids, and just life stuff. So the fact that but they can easily, comfortably pay $2,500 to $3,500 to $4,000 a monthly payment. And before, they were restricted with county loan limits.
Right.
And now, in 2020, we will not have any limits to the county loan limit. And now they can buy a house with zero down, even at a higher purchase price, which is exciting because they can hold the payment. They clearly can hold the payment. Just because you don't have a lot of assets in the bank, that doesn't mean you can afford a payment. And most of these guys make, 130, 140, 150, but they've always been capped by that limit. So I think it's pretty exciting that, that they can have the ability to do that now.
Well, even transitioning, so now you have somebody that does have VA eligibility that maybe owns their own business now, maybe they're making a lot more money, where they're looking at buying a home, let's just say in Duluth area, or even Bear Creek area, and they're like, well, I'm not going to use my VA because I was capped off at this limit, so now I have to take a look at a conventional loan. Well, now those people can actually start using their VA loans again and buying in those areas, a lot more high cost areas, and not have to worry about, okay, now I got to put down X amount of money. So that's what's also pretty exciting, especially because there's some super nice houses in Temecula that are about $700,000. Where before you had to put down, $100 and something thousand to use your VA. Now you could do that for up to 100% financing. So there's a lot of good changes coming in 2020. We're super excited.
And we don't see anything with the feds changing anything drastically till even after the elections. So everything's been pretty steady with the market. And so, we don't have any clear indication anything is going to happen till maybe after, towards the end of 2020, but clearly nothing from today till 6-7 months from now. So that's pretty exciting. Knock on wood, right? Unless we see this video 7 months from now.
We're like, crap! Didn't take advantage.
We went to war with China. I'm sorry. I take that back. but no clear indication as of yet that any interest rate hikes are going to happen with any treasury bonds.
Well, I mean, it's exciting. It's an exciting time for people to purchase. People who have been on the fence for a long time just because they don't have the funds, or even our veterans that are holding off because they're like, look, I want a $600,000 house, but I don't have a down payment for it. Now is definitely an exciting time to do that, especially with all the different changes that are going to happen this next year with higher loan limits, VA not having a loan limit, and also different programs that are now available that weren't available before. I'm super excited specifically for the Open Door program because that is something that I've had a lot of people look at down payment assistance, but they don't want that silent second on there. And now we could take advantage of it and say, hey, look, half of it is a gift. Now, instead of 7% assistance, that being a gift, it's at least half of that. So that'll be a big help. Plus, there's no income limit for that. We're going to start seeing a lot more people that are being able to buy higher sales price without having to put down an absorbent amount of money. So that's also a couple of good things happening.
For an introductory loan, at least.
Correct.
For an introductory loan. And then, 2 years or year and a half afterwards, they can always have the option to go from an open door program to a regular conventional without any PMI.
Right.
And then the
liens,
it doesn't create
home.
the liens, though.
Exactly.
That normally does, yeah.
And at least get into the home to now where you're a homeowner, now you've built up equity instead of how am I ever going to be able to buy a house because I don't have the money saved up.
Right.
These programs are good programs to take advantage of, get people in homes, get more homeowners, and overall help the economy too. So.
Well, considering, I helped one of my close friends get into a rental property, and, we were looking into it. It's like, it's the same thing as buying a house. It's crazy. They want the first, the last.
Right.
They want the deposit. And the payment is
more
very
money.
close to what you'd buy. So it's like, that just doesn't really make any sense.
Right.
So it's...
well, we just had somebody close where they put less than $1,500 down on a house. And it's like, okay, if you were to go and rent, it's going to cost you $6,000 for your deposit.
Right.
You're going to spend more money renting. Like, take advantage of these things.
And most of these companies, they ask more for the client than I do. I mean, they ask for they want like a higher than a 650 FICO, 670 in most cases. Only you have to make 3 times as much than rent. Which debt to income ratio wise we can do better, right?
Right.
Sometimes even 4 times as much as rent. The guidelines are just even more strict to buy renting a house than buying a house. It's kind of comedy to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're on the fence, now's the time to get in the game. Lots of big changes. We're super happy about that.
Yeah, and then the other thing people always say too is like, well, I'm going to wait till next year. And what I tell my clients is, you know what, the type of conversation that we can be having a year from now or a year and a half from now is going to be completely different than if you buy a house right now or not. If you did it, then we'd talk about the same stuff a year and a half from now.
Right.
But if you do, the type of conversation is now it's like, hey, how much equity do we have? Do you want to cash out? You want to remove the PMI? You want to, there's the conversation is going to be a lot more different than if you had a house than you did it.
Right. Plus, I mean, these programs aren't here, as we know. They come and go.
Yep. They only have certain
amount of time.
funding and
exactly. So if
grants
you are
and
on
help
the fence,
from the U.S. Department.
get in the game before these programs go away. We're not saying that they're going to go away anytime soon, but you never know. All of a sudden, I just remember when Cal
Platinum
just like went away like that.
Different
now there's
programs,
an income. Hey, as of this date, there's a new income restriction. Well, boom, that takes you out of the mix. So if you are on the fence, get in the game. Let's do this now. It's a perfect time to buy. Houses are sitting on the market.
And the other thing too about buying now versus later, forget all the graphics, because I'm like that too. I really don't care. Like, oh, the benefits of buying a house right now, and it's like, okay, you see all the graphs and it makes sense and you already know this stuff, right? But the other thing is too is like you have to take it for face value. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for example, if you buy a car, let's just say, you have a brand new Audi, right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to lose value right off as soon as you buy it and you take it off the lot, right? And you're comfortable, let's just say, with the $650 payment, right, for that car.
Right.
Who cares if your neighbor got it a year, waited a year till it was out the lot and it was driven for 20,000 miles, and now his payment's only $400. It's like, well, I'm gonna wait till. It's like, dude, if you're comfortable with the $650 and you're completely fine with it at face value with your interest rate, with your payment, with everything. Who cares what everybody else is doing, or if somebody waited, right. Or if you're comfortable right now, you have to take it for face value. The programs are here right now. The opportunity is here right now. The interest rates are low right now. The houses are relatively low still as well. So it's like, take it for face value. Do it now.
Right. Who cares what your Uncle Bob bought his for a year ago?
Yeah, well, I do care what Uncle Bob does, but that's completely that's a different podcast. Like that guy, did I tell you?
We'll tell you about a little later. Well, wrapping up our Christmas episode again. We got our Christmas sweaters. We're in the holiday spirit. If you are in the market to buy or refinance, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to help you go over these programs that we talk about. From the Two Mortgage Guys office, Jonathan Farrell.
Ladi Dottie.
Ladi Dottie, we like to potty.
Ladi does loans on Instagram.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon.